Continue today's press conference. We have head coach Nick Cushing. If you have a question, please raise your hand. We'll go with Scott.
Hey, Coach. Thanks as always for the time. You're going into Subaru Park. Philly is Philly. Talk about it. Thoughts, ideas, anything you got.
Yeah, always a really difficult game. Two teams that have, seem to have played each other frequently, whether it be, within the league, regular season, or playoffs over the last 2 years in really important games. It's, really difficult place to go. We know the atmosphere, but we've got a lot of experience of it, so we know it's going to be difficult. But the nature of our league is the games are so difficult week in, week out. It's intense. We just got to continue to push hard.
Go ahead. Talk a little Gabby Pereira in this case. During the 8-game streak, he's averaged 3 shots towards goal, but prior to that was 1.9. So that extra 1, is that his change? Is the team's change, or just yes?
Yeah, I think it's the improvement of the team offensively. I think we're getting to a place where we're content with the Montreal game. We created more chances than them. We created more than we normally would. And then across the Charlotte game and the Columbus game, it was more like the team that we want to be, creating a lot of chances, playing exciting football that leads to a lot of goal chances, and limiting the opposition to goal chances. The difference is we have to make the next step and take them. And if we get guys like, Richie Ledesma, Gabriel Pereira, Santi Rodriguez, our offensive guys, Mati Tellez in front of goal, we've got more chance of putting the ball in the net than we have. We know we need to take the chances, but we're making them, so that's the positive.
Roberto?
There's been 2 games that you've had basically snatched out from under you where you've allowed goals in stoppage time. Aside from the obvious, is there anything identifiable that you've been able to see that will help you in the future to stop that from happening again?
Not really in that side of the game, because if you look at the Montreal game and the DC game at Yankee Stadium, there's many examples where we have got over the line. The difference is we don't want to be in that situation where we're allowing the opposition almost the sort of energy and enthusiasm to fight for something. In both games where we've lost the goal in the last minute, we probably should be 2 goals up, so the opportunity to get back into it isn't there. Certainly the Columbus game, we should be 2-3 goals up by the time the 12 minutes goes up, and then they have nothing to play for. So we know the only way of fixing it quickly is to take our chances and for the game to be out of sight from the opponent.
Back to the Zoom, Joel.
Hey, Coach. So the team finally made a move, got a striker, Moncef Bakrar. I'm just wondering, from your perspective, what are the qualities that he brings that you think makes him an ideal fit? And when do you see him slotting in with New York City FC in a game situation?
I think he's a really exciting player, one that I was really keen to bring here. I think he has goals, which is the main thing that we wanted out of adding a number 9. He attacks space really well. He is a guy that wants to get himself into goal chances, and he's shown this year that he can put the ball in the goal. I think we can be a real asset for his career in the sense of improving him and really pushing him to the next level. He's making a step from where he's come from into a very difficult league and a team that at this present moment is creating a lot of chances. So hopefully, he can be the guy that can be on the end of those chances and, add a real different dimension to our team, because he is an out-and-out number 9 that wants to attack space. When do I expect him here? Yesterday. But no, I think it's complex. There is issues outside of just wanting to bring a guy here. The front office are working through visa and all those different issues. It's a process. I don't think it's a problem. It's just a process, and they're working through that. So we won't have him here for this weekend, but I'm really keen to get him involved in Leagues Cup.
Andrew.
Hi, Coach. So I wanted to ask about center back, in that you've gotten Thiago Martins back from his injury, and you've seen Tavon Gray and Justin Hack perform pretty well there while you've had them playing there. How do you look at that position in terms of just like, are you happier now with the depth that you have, knowing that you've also traded Tony Alfaro to LA? Like, how do you kind of view the position where you've kind of relied heavily on Thiago Martins and Maxime Chanot, but like, do you think you have enough depth, or do you still consider that a spot that you might look to bring somebody in at?
I think we have. I think Justin going in the back three and Tavon Gray playing inside, which was his natural position as a younger player, has shown that we've got depth. We have Maxime, we have Thiago Martins that defended well together in a back four. We're now playing three in there with Justin and Tavon. I want the opportunity to be able to play a back four, and having Thiago Martins back is a real plus for us. But we will consistently look at guys out there. I think if you look across our back line, we're always looking to make sure that it's balanced and it's also, has depth. So if we can find the right guy in that area, for sure we'll bring him in. But I think that's been one of the positive in the last few performances, is how those three guys, Maxime, Tavon, Justin, have performed together. And adding Thiago Martins is a huge positive for us.
Michael and Drew?
Mick, thanks for the time. As you prepare for the upcoming match, I don't know if I've ever asked you this, but are you focused more on the opponent or the fact that it's an away game?
I'm focused on us, always. I think there is, different challenges to playing different systems. Philly have tended to be a 4-4-2 diamond team, but they play three in the back when they came to City Field. But I think the way that they play and the concept of how they're going to try and hurt us will be the same. So we always concentrate on ourselves, how we can make sure that we are good with the ball, how we can be, I think for us it's about, we have to push hard to retain the performance level. Of course, the results we want to be different. The outcome of goal chances we want to be better. But if we can keep the performance level in how we dominate games and how we apply ourselves, I think for me, the aim is to be relentless. And I think we've been relentless in the way that we've played. I don't think we've been so ruthless. And I think that is a real driver for me, especially going into this Philly game, is that, we sustain the ability to keep creating goal chances, but we have to improve in the areas when we're taking them.
Christian, Anich?
Hi, Coach. You talked about focusing on yourselves there. The games with Philly have seemed quite intense. Does that focus on yourselves become even more important when you walk into a situation like that?
Yeah, I think ultimately we have to, when we're reviewing and we're reflecting on the improvements and the areas we need to improve in the team, I think it's really important to reflect on the journey that we're on. We were disappointed in the tying goal from Columbus, but we were really pleased with the amount of goal chances that we created and the way that we played the majority of the game. The atmosphere was incredible. The fact that we allowed Columbus to stay in the game, the fans really got behind them, and it'll be no different at Subaru Park. We know that. We know the fans will be behind Philadelphia, but we have to control those moments. And I think for large parts of the Columbus game we did, but we didn't get them out of sight, which meant the fans were still in the game. And we know if we allow Philly to be in the game or stay in the game for large parts, then the fans will get behind them. So for us, it's about, reflecting on the good parts of our performances over the last two games, because they've been where we want them to be, but also continuing to push hard and focus that together as a team, if we continue to take out the good and really work at the areas we need to improve, we'll continue to move forward and we'll have a good chance of getting a result against Philadelphia.